Hey everybody, it's Pastor Caleb. Hope you're doing well today. Got a quick Bible comparison for you. Was asked to do a comparison between the Cambridge Concord Full Yapp, the Allan 43 Longprimer, and the Allan 53 Longprimer. So make sure you stick around, hit subscribe, and drop a comment below. So earlier I was asked to do a comparison between the Cambridge Concord Full Yapp, the Allan 43 Longprimer, and the Allan 53 Longprimer. So as you can see, there are some size differences in the three Bibles, and I'll turn these so you can kind of see the difference here. All three are fantastic Bibles. I want to say that from the start. There are certain things about each one that, I personally like better, you may personally like better, you may not like, and vice versa. The first thing that I want us to take a quick look at is these covers. All three say Holy Bible on the front cover. Now this Cambridge Concord is a mahogany calfskin, and the 43 and the 53 are a Highland goatskin. So this Concord is extremely soft and sleek, and the 43 and the 53, you can definitely feel that grain in the goatskin. Now right off the bat, I know you can already tell a difference in the ribbons. On this Concord, these ribbons are double-sided satin, but they are extremely narrow and short. They are cut at an angle. There's two dark brown and one honey gold ribbon. On the Allan 43, you have three double-sided satin gold ribbons. And then on this 43, you have three navy blue double-sided satin ribbons. I will say on these newer Allan Bibles, they have got some extremely long ribbons. I personally like that. If you want them shorter, then you can cut them to meet whatever ribbon length that you want. However, with these ribbons on the Concord, they are pretty short to begin with, so you can't really do a whole lot with that. Now, with this Concord, there is a tooled line that goes around the cover here. It is also perimeter stitched around. Now on the Allan 43 and 53, there is no perimeter stitch. It's kind of just tooled. And on the 53, there's an extra tooled line that goes on the cover. Just so you can see the spine here, on the Cambridge, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 raised ribs or hubs. And on these Allans, you only have tooled lines here on the spine. On the Concord, you have Holy Bible, King James Version, Red Letter Edition, and the Cambridge logo. On the Allan, you have Holy Bible, Concordance, Allan written, Holy Bible, Concordance, and Allan. And just from looking here, you can already tell the difference in the mahogany calfskin and the Highland goatskin. You can see that grain extremely well here in this Highland goatskin. All right, so let's look at these inside covers. Now, the Allan 43 is edge-lined. The Cambridge Concord is edge-lined as well. Here it says calfskin leather, Highland goatskin, and I'll bring the 43 in just a minute so you can see the difference. Now, on the Allan 43, you have this gold gilt line that goes in the cover. You have some pleated corner work, which is on this Bible, I believe that it's an okay job. And you have kind of a nice cardstock end sheet here. It's edge lined, and this is a more shiny end sheet. I'm not really sure what it is, but there's really no corner work at all, but you can see that perimeter stitch goes around. There is no gilt line. that goes around the Bible. Now, in the 53, there's a double gold gilt line that goes all the way around, and the corner work on this 53 looks a little better than the job done on the 43. It says Highland goat skin, and you have that textured cardstock here on the front. Now, one thing I want to do is show you the Yapps on these Bibles. So the Concord here is advertised as a full Yapp, and you can see that it will touch. And I know some people aren't really about the Yapp. I personally love a Yapp. So this is a good Yapp on this Bible, and it makes the Bible just feel really, really good in the hand. This Concord is just a fantastic Bible. On the Allan 43, I would describe the Yapp as a generous Yapp. It's not a full Yapp. It doesn't touch. I mean, you can probably train it to touch here. It will touch up here on the corners. And you can train it to fold over and touch up on the top and on the bottom. But here on this side, you're going to have to do a lot of training if you want it to completely fold over. Now on the Allan 53, I would consider this an extreme Yapp. It completely folds over with some overhang. So if you are into massive Yapp, you can see that it's folding over extremely well. Just a phenomenal Bible. On this particular edition, it has white head and tail bands. On the 43, it has white head and tail bands. And on this Cambridge, it has a brown head and tail band, all Smithsonian premium Bibles. The presentation page on this Concord is a really nice presentation page. It's not on glossy cardstock, so if you do write in the Cambridge Concord, it's not going to smear. It's just a very nice presentation page. You got, all your family history and all of that. Now the Allan 43 and the 53 have the exact same presentation page, family history, also on a very nice cardstock paper. So if you do write in it, it's going to be good. It's not going to smear. You come to your publication page, and you can see that the Concord is printed in the Netherlands by Royal Youngblood. The Allan 43 is printed in the Netherlands by Royal Youngblood. The Allan 53 is also printed in the Netherlands by Royal Youngblood. So let's look at the paper and the size of the paper. So we have the Allan 53, we have the Allan 43, and we have the Cambridge Concord. Now at first glance, all of the text here looks identical. We're starting here in the book of Psalms, chapter 1. So as you can tell, all three Bibles are center column references. So the Allan 53, the book of Psalms, starts on page 602, and the Allan 43, the book of Psalms, starts on page 602. So the Allan 53 and the Allan 43 have the same pagination. For the Cambridge Concord, the book of Psalms starts on page 584. And that's obviously because the size of the Bible is smaller than both the 43 and the 53. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how is the paper in all of these Bibles? The Allan 53 is on a 36 GSM paper. The Allan 43 here is on a 28 GSM paper. And from what I could find, that the Cambridge Concord is on a 30 plus GSM paper. I'm not sure what the plus means, but it feels more close to a 30 GSM. It's definitely not a 28 like in the 43. Now, how the paper actually feels, the 36 GSM in this Allan 53 feels extremely great. When you're turning the pages, it just feels really good. The paper in this Concord also feels really good as you're turning the page. Now, I did a review on this 43 and I talked about the paper. The paper in this particular edition, this 28 GSM that Allan has used, it feels really, really thin. Now, I know this is advertised as a thin line, but it just feels really thin. I want you to know that if you're going to purchase the 43. This paper is really thin. I have some Skylers that are 28 GSM, and the paper feels thicker than this 28 GSM that Allan's used here. I've written all in the Skyler 28 GSM personal size quintels that I have, and that 28 GSM has been able to withstand ink. I've been hesitant to use this 43 just because of the paper. I like to turn the pages a lot when I'm preaching, and I'm just nervous that I'm going to rip the pages. I feel like I have to be extremely careful with this paper. Now, with this Concord, I don't feel that when I turn the pages, and with the 53, I don't feel that. So I just wanted to make notice of that as you're considering purchasing either the Concord, the 53, or the 43. Now, what I want you to see is just some features that are in the back of these Bibles, just so you know what you're getting. In the 53 and the 43, you have a dictionary of scripture proper names, basically the exact same thing. And in this Cambridge Concord, you have a short glossary of biblical uses. That's the first thing after Revelation 22 in all of these Bibles. The next thing that's in these Bibles is in the 53 and the 43, you have a subject index to the Holy Scriptures. In the Concord, you have your concordance. The next thing up in the Allan 53 and the 43 is your concordance. Now, after the concordance in the Concord, you have a concise Bible dictionary. The next thing we come to is the list of maps in all three. And we'll take a quick look at these maps. So just real quick, as soon as you turn over from the list of maps, you go straight into the maps in both the 43 and the 53. In the Concord, you have a map index that's color coordinated and will help you understand the maps a little better. All three Bibles have excellent maps. Obviously, the 53 and the 43 have the exact same maps. They're on Bible paper. On the Concord, they are also on Bible paper. Just, they're not going to get messed up. Great job with Allan and Cambridge on these Bible maps. In the Allans, your index to maps comes after the maps. Now, in the Concord, they came before the maps. In the Allan 53 and 43, you have lined notebook paper in the back. Now, the lined notebook paper in the 43 is thicker than the Bible paper that they've used in the edition. Now, in the Concord, when you are done with your maps, you have a couple pages of cardstock, and that is it. You have no lined notebook paper at all in the Concord. Here's a close-up of that lined paper here in the 43. Again, you can see that gilt line here in the 43. And this is an Allan binding by Charfleet Bookbindery. You can just see that grain in this goat skin. On this Allan 53, Allan binding by Charfleet Bookbindery, and you can see the double gilt line going around as well. The grain on this Highland goatskin on both these editions is just phenomenal. You can see the size difference here in the spine. the 43 compared to the Concord. This Concord is just a smooth texture. You can see a little grain in there, but this is extremely, extremely smooth. All three editions are red under gold, and with this Concord, it's not as deep red as the Allans, but just a beautiful gilt. Here's the Allan 43. And you can just see that shine here on this 53. Just a beautiful, beautiful Bible. You might be thinking, well, which one should I get? Obviously, that is personal preference. The Concord is extremely portable. The paper is fantastic. The 43, in my opinion, has the perfect size for preaching, for carrying around, for just study, but the paper is thinner. Now the 53 is a little bigger, but not much bigger than the 43. The margins are just a smidge bigger in the 53. So if you want to take notes, the 53 gives you a little more room. The Yapp on the 53 is very generous, while the 43 is not. The Concord Yapp is pretty generous as well. I hope that this has helped you see some differences between three great editions of the King James Version: the Cambridge Concord in mahogany calfskin, the Allan 43 in brown Highland goatskin, and then the Allan 53 in red Highland goatskin. So I hope this has helped. I hope you have a good day. Thanks again for watching. God bless.